So I just got back from watching Candyman. Candyman. Oh no. Yeah. But I wish they would say it like that in the movie. They never do in this whole franchise. They just draw it out. They make it so dramatic, and just to build tension, they say it like 5 times slowly. They say Candyman, and then they wait like 15 seconds. Candyman, another 15 seconds. Like, just fucking say it 5 times. Candyman. Just get it over with, like a band-aid. Just pull it off. Just get it over with. But I get why they're doing it so slow, but I just have to point that out because it's in every one of these movies. They say it so slow, one at a time. They don't just say it real fast to get it over with. But yeah, this movie's just called Candyman because Universal with Halloween, and then whoever's doing Scream next, it's the new trend. Don't say part two, even if it is part two, like this one is. It's a direct sequel, so this is like the new part two. They're ignoring 2 and 3. That's the other trend in Hollywood, is ignoring shit. Ever since like Texas Chainsaw 3D, it's been the new thing, and this one does it as well. And because they're too lazy to come up with a fucking title besides Candyman, I'm gonna give one for them. You're welcome, Universal. So it's called now officially Candyman, fuck the police. So what is the plot for this new Candyman movie? Well, it takes place a decade after the last of the Cabrini Towers being torn down. This guy and his girlfriend move in. He's an artist, and he encounters this guy who works at a laundromat who exposes him to the legend of Candyman, and after he paints him and does this whole thing at the art gallery, spreads the word, shit starts to go south, and things start to unravel from there, and we got all kinds of carnage. So what do I like about this movie? Well, I'm not sure if this is a spoiler or not. I think it's in the trailer. This movie creates a new Candyman. You're not going to get Tony Todd. So this new guy, I liked him. I like the way he looks. I like that he didn't talk a bunch. Because you're not going to get somebody who can recreate the voice of Tony Todd. And like, he is Candyman. Like, his voice is perfect. It's very deep and sinister, and so I'm glad this was like more of a voiceless Candyman going around hooking people. And the hookings in this movie are much more violent in some moments. We got a really good gory throat slit that was pretty cool. I like how a couple of the death scenes were shot. It's shot pretty good overall. There's a lot of good visuals in here. So, and the acting is good, to be expected. I wouldn't expect shitty acting in a mainstream Universal produced and released movie, And I liked all the moments where they acknowledge Helen. There's a lot of mention of Helen. I like all the like shadow, whatever you want to call it, the shadow puppets or cardboard paper cutout things that they did. The animations, I liked the way all that was done. That was pretty cool. And I like that they didn't just redo the music, like throw it in here for nostalgia's sake. They recreated the music. They use it a little bit, the Philip Glass score, like in the credits, but they have a new score. It's not as haunting as Philip Glass's score, but it's good. And even though this was completely spoiled by the internet, I like that there was a twist in the movie regarding one of the characters. As for my dislikes, where do I start? One critic said that this was a soulless, didactic reimagining, and I agree with that statement. It's not scary, and it's just the social commentary. It's not subtle at all. It's mixing horror with the social commentary, just like the first movie, but this one is just much more heavy-handed to me, and it's shoved down your throat, and I just don't like that. Like, if you're going to have social commentary, make it subtle. It shouldn't just be in the freaking foreground in your face the whole time. I'm just quite honestly sick of the whole cops and white people are evil. And I'm just sick of it, alright? You can call me a fucking whatever. I don't give a shit, because it's not true. But I'm just fucking sick of it. Another thing I didn't like about the movie is how predictable it was. You know where it's going pretty early on, because I knew the direction it was heading, how the movie was ultimately going to wrap up and end. I was less engaged in the story, just started to slink down in my chair, and I just got bored with the movie. And it felt like it was over an hour and like 50 minutes long. But it's only like a 90-minute movie, right? It just felt long. It started to drag for me personally, and I think it just had to do with the fact that I knew where it was going, so therefore I just started to care less because it was just so predictable. It's like, all right, this is where we're going, this is how it's going to end, and that's exactly what happened. So what I expected to happen, happened, and that just kind of bugged me. And this is just a small quibble here. The movie should be more bloody than it is. Some people might think this is really graphic because they don't watch a lot of horror movies, but this one's probably almost as graphic as the first one. I mean, the first one has some pretty gnarly moments when the doctor's getting the hook up his back and the way Tony Todd is in that moment, grunting. Like, it's a vicious scene in that moment. But this movie, it just has the one throat slit that looked pretty good. But everything else is mainly, like, off camera. You see some blood splatters here and there. But it's like, dude, this is 2019 when the movie was made, and this movie takes place in 2019. Like, it's like almost 30 years later. We should have more violence and gore in the movie. But that's just me. Like, that's, like, again, small nitpick, because I'm a gore hound. I would have liked to see more on screen here. And one thing I just didn't understand was one character's motivation, why he was doing what he was doing. Towards the end, I just didn't understand what was going on there in that scene. Like, wait, what's this person doing, and why is he doing this? Like, I don't get it. So explain that to me. And it did bug me that, pretty early on, our main character, his hand gets bit by a bee. It starts to look pretty bad, and it takes him probably like a fucking week to get it checked out. It's like, dude, the next morning I would be on that right away. So final thoughts, I was just disappointed with the movie, and if you like it, that's fine. I'm glad you liked it, but me, I got exactly what I didn't want. It was predictable. There was no surprises. There was hardly any gore, and I liked the new Candyman. I like that they were trying to go for something different here and recreate and build a new Candyman and expand upon this story, but it just didn't work for me. So I gotta say, when it comes to Candyman, do not say his name. Do not go see this at the theaters. Wait for it to stream or borrow it from a friend or rent it at Redbox. And those are my probably very offensive opinions to some. And if you're just butthurt about everything, then just fuck off. Don't watch this video. I don't want sensitive little bitches watching my videos. I want people with open minds watching my videos. Alright, so respect my opinion, and I'll respect yours. Let me know what you thought about this movie in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you've seen here, you can hit this like button and become a subscriber today just by clicking on my cartoon face in about 5 seconds. And remember, it's just an opinion. You don't need to get butthurt about it.